Friday time and time for our regular Friday visit. And today we bring in Gavin Sheets from the Padres as the Padres get set to start the three-game series tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. Gavin Sheets last joined us at spring training. I don't know if you remember that particular interview, Gavin, sitting out there by the benches, but we were really impressed, and we really couldn't wait to see you play. But really at that time, I don't think anybody was totally expecting what has happened since that time, which is, you having a great season and, putting yourself squarely in the middle of what the Padres have accomplished this year. So congratulations to you, and just talk a little bit about, what this season has meant to you so far.
Yeah, I think that obviously I do remember that conversation we had out there in completely different times. And no, I think that, kind of when I was talking to you then too, it was just, looking back at this off season, the things I wanted to accomplish, the places I wanted to go. And, I wanted a new change of scenery where the excitement was there and where the goal was to win a World Series. And I think, you look now, we're at August 1st, and, at this point right now, I've matched some career highs. And I think that after we saw what happened yesterday, I think that the goal of winning a World Series is right in front of us.
Yeah. Gavin Sheets joins us here, Padre outfielder, DH. He's kind of done a little bit of everything for the Pods. And Gavin, let's talk about the process, because we knew from having that conversation in spring training what your goals were, the things you kind of wanted to accomplish. But I know as you go through the season, you kind of have to be able to be flexible in how you are going to manage all of this. You've had times where you've been hot. You've cooled, gotten back hot. What has that process been like for you, sticking with it through some of the ups and downs you've had?
Yeah, I mean, it's the beautiful thing of baseball is no matter how hot you are, how cold you are, you got to come to the ballpark the next day and do it again. And being an everyday guy for the first time in my career has been incredible. And I think you learn how to handle those things, and you kind of learn on the fly. And you battle with, soreness and all this stuff that goes on, and showing up to the ballpark every single day and bringing it, and, dealing with slumps, dealing with hot streaks. And I've just enjoyed every second of it. Obviously, the roles might change a little bit going forward, but, whatever it is and whatever I need to do, and, the goal and the work ethic and all that still stays the same going forward.
Gavin, you knew that you could come here and be a big contributor, and you told us that, and you had us believing. I imagine that everyone was confident in your ability, when they put you in the lineup opening day. But how much did it mean to you personally and in terms of feeling a part of things to get that home run on opening day, just contribute right off the bat, kind of signal to everybody that, I'm going to be around to help this club this year?
Yeah, that was I couldn't have scripted a better start. Obviously, that was about as cool as it gets. I hit a home run in the playoffs in 21, and that was about as close as, if not better, a feeling than I've ever had in my career. So that was just incredible. I mean, obviously playing in front of this home crowd and getting the first taste of it that day, and to be able to produce like that was a pretty special welcome to San Diego, to say the least.
Gavin, obviously we got a chance to chat with your dad, Larry, out in Philadelphia. He was out on the field. And I imagine for him, as it was for my dad, watching you is probably much harder than it was for him to be on the field. How much has he enjoyed getting a chance to see your success and get to be an everyday player through most of this year so far?
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, he stresses out more watching me than when he played, for sure. But he's thoroughly enjoyed it. He's thoroughly enjoyed watching the brand of baseball we play, the way we go about our business, and obviously being a contributing factor to that has made it enjoyable for him. He can't stand the West Coast time zone. He said he's losing a lot of sleep because of it, but he's thoroughly enjoying every second of it.
Gavin Sheets is with us, and man, he's a big reason why the Padres have had the kind of season they've had so far. And I've said it many times. Where would we be without you, Gavin? I want to ask a little bit about left field. You have really impressed, a lot of people, I think, from, how far you've come in left field. And maybe, the early games, there was just a matter of kind of getting reacquainted with it out there. It's not easy. Balls are slicing. Balls are hit hard over your head.
Yeah.
I hope we can start laughing now. Is it long enough since the collision with the fence? But look, man.
Trust me, we're well past that. I think I'm in a couple different group chats, and I think that's the picture of me against the wall. So trust me, these guys did a lot. they didn't wait very long. I can promise you that.
I bet. Well, you're lucky. You're lucky that, because I've seen a lot of teams will go out there the next day and somebody will tape an outline of the player up against the fence where they ran it. I didn't see the Padres do that, but what I'm saying is. Go ahead.
I'm very happy we got to San Fran quickly.
Yeah, right. You got out of town.
That's right. We left right after.
That's what happened. But no, let's be serious, because left field, I think you've been great, and really done a nice job, made some really good catches out there. I think it seems to me that Schilt and the staff, are pretty comfortable with you out there. Where are you at in left field?
Yeah, I think that, no, you said it right. I think, in the beginning, getting out there just, because I had never really played left, and getting out there, one day a week, once every 2 weeks, that was tough. And, I knew that once they kind of gave me the keys to left field, I bought in and enjoyed it, took it as obviously a huge compliment to be thrown out there. And, and just put a lot of work out there. Macias and I, the outfield coach, we busted our butt out there, and kind of enjoyed the process of it, enjoyed growing as an outfielder, enjoyed the, just being able to help the team in many different ways. And, I think just buying in and putting in work out there. But you're right. I think I grew a lot out there from April and May to where we are now.
Gavin, I want to highlight something you kind of alluded to in one of your earlier answers. You said that your role might change. Talk a little bit about watching, as everybody else was last night, as all these deals are flurrying through. Talk about kind of recognizing that maybe your role changes a little bit, but also the excitement of acquiring all of this talent as you guys, focus on perhaps winning a World Series.
Yeah. Man, it was, I felt like a fan like everybody else yesterday, just watching along and seeing all the moves that were being made across the league. And, I think what we did yesterday just solidifies that everybody in the clubhouse has the same goal. Front office all the way down, ownership all the way down. And, obviously we bring in the players that we brought in. It makes this team extremely dangerous from top to bottom. And then you look at our pitching and our bullpen, and man, thank God I'm on this team, because coming to San Diego and getting potentially Mason Miller in the fifth inning, that's about as good as it gets. And, obviously I don't know what the role is going to be going forward. I don't know how we're going to, manage everything. Obviously that's way out of my control, but I do know that we all have the same goal in mind. And I think that it really showed yesterday that we're not messing around and we're going for it.
And you've kind of sent that message again also, Gavin. I mean, the one thing I've been really impressed with, along with your growth in left field, is the hitting against left-handers. I don't know that they, you can look at numbers, et cetera. I think the team, the staff, they want to see you against some left-handed pitching, but I don't know that they expected a lot. And then you came in there and started tearing up left-handed pitching pretty good. So, I think you're going to get chances the next 2 months because of the way you performed. Just real quick for us, standing in the batter's box, what is your mindset, or is it any different against a lefty as opposed to a righty?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just is staying a little bit more opposite field gap oriented against lefties. I think that's what brought a lot of success for me, especially average wise. I think, obviously my damage is more against righties. But I think I might be hitting for a higher average against lefties. And that's because, staying in there a little bit longer and using that opposite field gap, and, everything's kind of be going away from me, and just trying to buy into, just being a really good hitter and a really tough out. And I think when I just, enjoyed facing lefties and took it personally and really worked at it and really opened up that opposite field gap was huge for me.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Look, most of us,
doubt.
good left-handed pitcher, we'd be stepping so far into the bucket, we'd be, facing the dugout. But I don't expect to see that from a guy that's willing to run into the left field wall to catch a ball. And I know people might poke fun at this play, but I think it says a lot about the way you're a gamer and the way you want to play. You're willing to do anything, and I think this team has recognized that. It's been a great year so far, man. The next 2 months should be a lot of fun. Gavin, thanks so much. I hope we do it again in the off season and talk about how fun the parade ride was.
Appreciate you, Gavin.
Absolutely. This is the best part of the season, so I can't wait to see what happens.